welcome back.
Okay, so we are in fact recording. That was an interesting minute of our lives that just that may or may not go in the video.
Let's talk later.
I have a Pikachu onesie that makes me look freaking amazing. And I don't think I've ever told you that I have it.
And I think I might have seen it in like a Facebook picture.
Yeah, I got it for Christmas one year, kind of as a joke from my parents, and I love it. But I haven't worn it because I was like, I guess we haven't officially said this. Stevie and I actually are roommates, and so when we moved in, I like had this, but I was like, man, I don't think I can really wear this around my house anymore, because what if Stevie thinks I'm a freaking weirdo? And then I got to know you, and I was like, yeah, he's a weirdo, so it doesn't matter. But I yesterday I had this thought of like, what if I just like started an episode and walked into my room and then walked back out and had the onesie on? What would he do? So I did it.
And I looking at my phone, trying to pull up a song to play into the microphone, did not notice at all.
I sat down, I was like, you ready? And he's like, uh-huh. And I just stared at him and I was like, you got any kind of comments? He's like, no. And I said, you sure about that? And he looked up, he's like, what? And he just started laughing.
Hercules!
Oh man. This is crazy.
So, unfortunately, Danny DeVito did not come back for this,
Oh.
but the reason is because the Japanese voice actor for Phil died.
Oh.
So, out of respect, they kept this character silent.
Well, what do you know? Sora, Donald, Goofy. Guess I owe you a big...
Look at that hidden Mickey in the back.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You need to stay someplace safe.
So you're telling me
Search the city and
Danny
make sure
DeVito
everyone manages
had
to
his
get
schedule
clear of the
freed
fire.
up to work on
Be
this new
careful,
Detective Pikachu
Wonder
movie,
Boy.
but he
I
didn't.
will.
I wish he had voiced.
Of course we're in.
I think everyone. I don't think I'm gonna see that movie, to be honest.
I don't know. They've dropped a few more trailers since the first one.
I just.
Phil, you should go with Meg.
I don't think the creepy, realistic look of everything is. Like, it's like every time there's a poster for that Sonic movie, but they're too scared to show, like, actual Sonic so people can just kind of, like, get used to it.
Right.
It's like, why not? Just make him look like how he does in the games.
Right. It's not that hard.
I don't get it.
Is anyone there?
So,
Hey, I hear a voice.
to go back to commenting on Kingdom
Which
Hearts,
way?
this is something you've never seen it before, except for maybe one instance in the first game, which is an NPC in the world.
Huh.
This is like the first game
There's a little girl caught in the
to
fire.
like have actual people in the world, and it's like,
Running's too
wow,
slow.
why did it take so long to get this?
Yeah, that is strange.
Get on that.
But I think it's really cool because it does make the worlds feel more alive.
Right.
Although there
This?
That's good.
are some reviews saying like, oh well, it's not all created equal. There's some places that just feel dead, and 9 times out of 10, like the places that feel dead, like there's a good reason. It's like, oh, I'm in like the forest in the frozen world. Yeah, no one would be out here.
Right. Yeah, it's gotta be realistic if it's gonna happen. Okay, I was a little confused. I thought she was just like on the building right in front
Yeah,
of me.
you think so, right?
Thank you for saving me.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh man, it would have
We
been
better
really
check and see
cool
if anyone else needs
if
us.
like you landed and then Sora was like, we've gotta help him, and then just like the theme from Spider-Man 2 pizza delivery came
Oh,
on,
God.
and you had to run around and save people.
Are you
I
the
don't know
reason the
why
Heartless are here?
that idea popped in my head.
So, Maleficent was an effective villain in like the first game because it looked like she was like the main bad guy of the whole game,
Right.
and she was like one of the hardest boss fights in that whole game. And ever since that game, she's just been around, and like it's like, oh, that's cute. You think you're a relevant villain, and also, Pete joined up into, and he was cool, but there is a aspect of him coming back, or his inclusion, like there's this dialogue. Sorry, I'm rambling, I'm tripping over myself. But his introduction into details, like I think it's like Donald or Goofy goes like, yeah, the king had him imprisoned in another dimension for his crimes. And it's like, what? Like, that's kind of harsh. Like, Pete's not really malevolent at all. And then you play the prequel game, which takes 10 years before the first game, and you find out what Pete did, and he was just kind of mad he lost a popularity contest.
Oh my God.
And then Mate goes, "That's it, Pete, you're gone," and then banished him to another dimension. And because of the fact that Donald and Goofy, who are like in the Disney, like the world Mickey's from, it's like a kingdom, and like Mickey's the king, and Goofy's captain of the guard, and Donald's the head wizard or the head vizier. So the fact that they don't know that Pete got out means that Pete was supposed to, like, no one checked up on Pete in 10 years.
What the heck?
And it's just like, I just thinking about, like, the fact that, like what was he supposed to, how did he get fed?
Right.
You know, like, where is he gonna go to the bathroom? Like, they show the thing, and it's just this dark void that he's just in. It's like, and all he did was, like, he lost the contest, and people went like, no, some people actually voted for you, Pete, but you just, you know, like, you need to just not be so mean all the time. And he goes like, well, everyone's a bunch of jerks, and I gotta find out who voted for me so I can slap them. And it's like, okay, you're banished to the Shadow Realm.
It's time to do.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's the goofiest thing, and it's like
Goofiest thing.
it's one of the to me it's one of the funniest things, and it's something that like no one talks about.
Right.
Ugh, I keep forgetting to. So like to use magic, you could go to that tab that says magic, or if you don't want it to be really it's clunky of a thing, you literally just hold L1 and there's a shortcut. So I just need to assign stuff to shortcuts, because these guys are annoying to fight if you're not using water a lot, because they will just set you on fire and you're kind of stunned for a little bit.
It's even though I've known that this game exists since I was a little kid, and like I've always, you know, as I got a little older, I knew what it was. It's like you're fighting with Donald and Goofy and everything. I do have to say, it's kind of weird to see Donald and Goofy running around beating up people.
Yeah.
Like, I guess it's not that strange, but like it's just kind of funny.
So it was funny because you were talking about how when you first saw this game, you like wanted to play it. I remember I bought a magazine that was talking about. This was like late 90s. Was talking. This is after Pokemon had come up, but like Yu-Gi-Oh was about to show up, and it was talking about Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh, and it had a preview for Kingdom Hearts, and it was like its announcement. I was like, man, like Final Fantasy mixed with Disney stuff, that's so stupid. Like, who would ever enjoy that? And then like I remember watching like the first trailer with the theme song with it, and I was like, man, that looks really good.
Yeah.
And then I played it, I was like, man, I love this. This is like my favorite game. Which, for the record, like this is probably like my favorite game series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which, you know, for better or worse, take that with how you want.
Yeah. Well, it's like, you know, I think you and I play a lot of video games, and I think something that you and I very much enjoy is like thinking critically about video games. And that's why we enjoy things like watching reviews and watching Let's Plays, because like, you know, part of it's the entertainment factor, but there's an artistic value to it as well. And I think that I think you can really appreciate a video game and like the art of playing and like creating video games if you can be like, this is my favorite game or my favorite game series, but like I will openly admit, like, it is not a perfect game.
Oh yeah, you know, a lot of people will use the term like formative years. Like the first game came out when trying to calculate my age real quick. How old I would have been in 2002. Shoot.
Let's see, it's 2019.
Oh, I was about
totally forgot that
I was
you're
about
playing.
yeah, so if I was born in 93, this came out in 2002, I was about 9 years old?
Yeah.
9 or 10. So like maybe it was because of that why I like fell in love with the series, because I was like young and the mysteries in the story like didn't seem that dumb to me.
Right.
But like even as I've grown older, like one of the things I really appreciate is that a lot of times you really can't ever predict what will happen in a Kingdom Hearts game.
Right.
Because I think Nomura in an interview even said like, yeah, when I write games, I like to write twists and turns in them. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. I like specifically to like entertain my fans, and sometimes that works out like well, and sometimes it's dumb. So like that's led to a lot of retcons or whatever. But like I still think even if you remove all the goofy story stuff, like these games play really well and kind of wrote like the book on how to do action RPGs.
Right. I mean, like I said, you know, a couple episodes ago, like, just the very opening of this game, I was like, wow, this is really pretty. And then, like, watching you play, like, obviously, you know, I'm not holding the controller, so I don't know, but, like, it looks like everything feels really fluid. And, like, I would kind of expect a game like this to be a little clunky.
Yeah.
And so, like, I mean, I don't know, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, like I think this entry feels really good. This is what I'm about to talk about is like a little in depth. So people were really worried when this and like some of the other later games are coming out, because the original team that worked on this was from like Square Enix Tokyo, and they worked on Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, which I think they might have worked on Chain of Memories, and those are considered to be, especially 2 is considered to be like the best feeling one normally. And then every game after that was made by the Square Enix team in Osaka, and granted, like every other one of those games was like on a handheld, so they didn't have exactly the amount of they probably didn't have the amount of budget or like the big size of team to like work on stuff. But the main complaint was that everything felt very floaty, and so like when you would jump up, your character would like just kind of very slowly float down. It's kind of like the difference. It's the difference between Super Smash Bros. Melee and Brawl.
Gotcha.
Like that's what people were concerned about.
Gotcha.
And I don't think this game feels nearly that floaty. There's some combat options you have in this that are different than in 2, and I don't think they're better or worse. Like one of the things I've also always liked about this series is like the creator's never been afraid to mix it up. Like okay, Kingdom Hearts 1 comes out, it's pretty similar to this. Okay, what are we gonna do for the one that's coming out on Game Boy? Okay, well, how about we make the attack system based entirely on cards? It's like a action RPG where like your actions are dictated by a deck that you build throughout the game.
Oh, wow.
So you wanna cast fire, like it gets surprisingly in depth,
Right.
and nothing's gone and done something that different before or a different sense. But they've always tried to mix it up in some way or another. And this game is kind of the culmination of a lot of the stuff that they did from 2, Birth by Sleep and Dream Drop Distance, which I think is really cool.
Well, with that's time. So, Thanks for watching. See you guys later.